Hey guys, I'm just gonna go in. Around 7% of the American population is served or is currently serving. Of that 7%, around 0.5% are active duty, currently serving military. Additionally, of the people that do serve, many of them are the family members or relatives of people that also have served, creating a sort of warrior caste of a group of people that keep military in the family. And by the way, any story or stat that I reference, I'll leave a link to below. These are just sort of background facts. I have no problem with it only being 7% and 0.5%. Honestly, if it could be smaller, that would be awesome. I also love that our army is a volunteer-only army. But these two things, I think, sort of lend themselves to the fact that a lot of Americans may not know a service member, may not know the family of a service member, may have never even met a service member. This means that their perception of service members are based on what they see in Hollywood or other things like what happens before a sports event or something like that. So two things about the sporting event thing. First of all, you may or may not know this, but the service branches a lot of times will pay either the NFL or the MLB to have soldiers out there before the games. Is sort of like a recruitment thing, which I totally understand and I'm not saying anything bad about. Two, think about what teams are trying to do before a sports game. There's a lot of loud music, basically getting the crowd hyped, a lot of loud music. And what better way to get everyone on the same page than to rally around something that a majority of Americans love, the flag and service members. I'm a big Bay Area sports fan, and I remember Steve Kerr got completely dragged in the national media for a point that he made a couple years ago about how having service members out during sporting events can sort of feel patronizing. But I think the patronizing idea is something that's completely fair to be mindful of. I don't know why I sound like I'm giving a documentary in this video. I'm gonna work on that. What I'm trying to say here is that there isn't much substance to one of the most public forums for interaction between civilians and service members. Like, it's just like sort of wild nationalism with no actual substance behind it. Like, why are we nationalists? Do we even know anything about these soldiers in front of us? When I look at those soldiers, I see individuals and I know their backstory because I have that context. But I just feel like a lot of Americans don't. I don't know. I 100% feel supported by the general American public. I think an incredible amount of Americans, whether they know a service member or not, have an incredible amount of patriotism, support, goodwill. They just don't have a place to direct that. And I think the intention in the way that service members are represented in Hollywood, in movies, and then at events like football games or baseball games is definitely positive, but it's not always real or authentic, and it doesn't really give the general American public, again, who may not even know a service member or family of a service member, somewhere to point all of that goodwill and support that they have for us. I would like to use this channel as a platform to tell real, authentic stories of service members. I tell people this all the time. One of my favorite things about the opportunity that I've had to serve is that I've had a front row seat on understanding and witnessing really the sacrifice and every good thing about the military that's out there. I'm preaching to the choir when I say they support the ideals and mission of our military. If I'm being completely honest, I find my military career thus far to be painfully mediocre. You know, like, it happened. I've certainly had peaks and valleys throughout my career. I cannot imagine my life without what the military has given to me, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to serve. So much has been invested in me by the American taxpayer, by the Army itself as an institution, and then by a multitude of individuals and mentors that I've had throughout my time in the Army. And I know as a service member that I have access that other American citizens don't have. I think us as service members don't do a great job of telling our story. So I'd like to use this YouTube channel to sort of close the gap between someone out there who may not know a service member at all and put them in touch with a story that may resonate with them. Man, that was tough for me to get out. And I hope it made any sort of sense. Let me know if it didn't. Basically, I'd like to tell veteran stories. That's the short of it. Maybe I should have just said that. Let me know what kind of things you'd like to know about the military. I was going to react to some of the pictures that I have of me doing military things, but I think I'll save that for another video. This is already long enough. But anyways, I didn't film an outro, so see you guys next week.